Idaho's Treasure Valley holds the key to the Mountain West Championship game. Win, and you're in. It's the top defense in the league against the #1 offense. Utah State and Boise State tonight on the blue turf. Welcome to ESPN College Football Finale, a frigid night here in Boise, Idaho, in the Gem State. Utah State at 9-3 and Boise State at 9-2. A trip to the Mountain West Championship game is on the line. Fresno State winners earlier today. So Boise State and Utah State at 6-1 in the Mountain Division, and the winner moves on next week to take on Fresno State. Boise State has won the coin toss in the All Blues tonight here on the blue turf. They have deferred. Utah State set to receive the opening kickoff. Dan Goodale, one of the top kickoff specialists in the nation, set to boot it away. Mike Cousins, David Diaz-Infante, Shelley Smith down the sidelines. Glad to have you along. Here we go in the Mountain West. And so the Aggies will open things up on the 25-yard line. Kent Myers, the freshman out of Texas, into the start tonight, and boy, it has been a wild ride at quarterback this year. He's their 4th different quarterback they've started this year, but the freshman has taken them to 4 straight wins.
To think how this coaching staff has tailored this offense to fit the young freshmen. They've been running the football more consistently, over 200 yards a game the last 4 games. It's given balance to their offense and helped ease this freshman along.
Joe Hill and Lawan Hunt in the backfield with the freshman Myers. They run it on first down, and it's wide open space. Lawan Hunt, he's inside the 30-yard line, and down he goes inside the 20. And what a play to open things up here on the blue turf.
And you'll see Utah State come in the diamond formation. 3 backs in the backfield. JoJo Natson goes one way, and there goes Lawan Hunt down the sideline for an explosive play right out of the gates.
55 yards on play number 1 for the freshman from Florida. And Natson with nowhere to go. And Natson's going to be a big impact, one of the impact players for Utah State.
Yeah, he certainly is. He was explosive last week against San Jose State. They're going to get him the ball in a variety of ways. Bo Martin and Tanner Vallejo, they've got to hold down the fort and be disciplined on the defensive side of the ball.
Vallejo, the leading tackler for this Boise State defense. Natson in motion to the slot. Hill rolling, and he overthrows Hunter Sharp along the sideline, incomplete. Take a look at Myers, who at the beginning of the year was just scheduled to be working on scout team. They were going to redshirt him this year. 4 starts, so far so good.
That's right. He's completing over 70% of his passes. They'll roll him out, try and give him some half-field reads. He's also had another dimension in the run game and that quarterback zone read.
To throw, 3rd and 14. Not even back to the original line of scrimmage as he finds Natson, and it's 4th down. LeSean Page in on the tackle. So here's how Myers ended up as the starting quarterback for Utah State, a 9-win team. Chucky Keaton was back off an injury, 3 starts. He's down for the year, torn ACL. Darrell Garrettson broke his wrist. And then Craig Harrison, a knee injury. This is a try from 38 yards for Nick Diaz. No good. So a 55-yard run by Hunt sparked a big opening drive for Utah State. And Diaz, his first field goal attempt in the last 3 games, no good.
You'll see the operation is good, the snap good, the hold good. He just pushes it, and it looks like that ball's going into the wind as it sails just right of the upright.
So now the #1 offense in the league takes the field. Grant Hedrick with Jay Ajayi off to his right. And the redshirt junior, the carry on first down. Out of bounds off to the right. And we welcome you in here to Albertson Stadium in Boise, Idaho. Utah State and Boise State playing for a chance to play in the Mountain West Championship game. Second down, and it's incomplete. Looking for Thomas Spurbeck, Mike Cousins, David Diaz-Infante, Shelley. Grant Hedrick, the senior who was all benched earlier this year.
Well, I tell you what, he had issues turning over the football. Of his 13 interceptions, 8 of them came in 2 games. That was against Ole Miss and Air Force. Since then, he has been outstanding. This team has gone 6-0, and they're averaging over 50 points a game because of his ability to run this offense.
Danins, the tight end, is the up back. Ajayi deep, and he gets the carry. 3rd down and 1. First, one of the best running backs in the country.
And that's one thing Boise State will do. That time, 3 tight ends in the football game. Again, a little power offense trying to create an extra gap for that defense to find to give it to one of the best running backs in the Mountain West Conference and in the country.
Pickup of 8 on 3rd down, and now a 1st and 10. Ajayi again takes the whole right side. And David, how about your impact players on this side of the ball?
That's right. Marcus Henry, that offensive line for Boise State going against the #1 defense in the Mountain West Conference. Zach Vigil and Frankie Sutera got to make sure they're disciplined, take care of their keys, because Boise State is known for multiple plays, gadget plays, and different formations.
On the ground again, Jeremy McNichols, the freshman wide receiver. They say he's the running back of the future. Gets the carry and another 1st down for the Broncos.
We can see this Broncos offense is running downhill, attacking this Utah State defense at its core.
Gain of 7, 1st down on the 48. Hedrick stands in under the pressure and complete inside the 40-yard line. They move it down to the 35 to the tight end, Jake Rowe. There's been a bit of a tight end renaissance here under this coaching staff.
You see Grant Hedrick again, great protection by the offensive line. Watch him touch the ball right over the linebacker in front of the safety to his tight end.
28th catch of the year for Rowe. Last year, leading tight end had just 7 catches. Into the air again, across the middle. Spurbeck with the catch inside the red zone. #1 offense in the league, 40 points a game.
Thomas Spurbeck, again, the sophomore, has been just an outstanding receiver. Them has stepped up since the injury to Matt Miller. He's the go-to guy for him on 3rd down.
They flip it to the outside. Here's Williams Rhodes looking for a hole inside the 10-yard line. And they're able to use Ajayi, the persistent threat, to set up some wide receivers.
That's the discipline we talked about, that Utah State defense. You're in the red zone. This is where Boise State loves to use their gadget plays. And you'll see it right there. Williams Rhodes again on the end around with blockers out in front of him. That's Marcus Henry, the center, right there, leading the way.
Second down, a pitch to Ajayi. A blocker to the edge inside the 5. And he is in. Touchdown, Boise State on the board first.
Coaches talk about Jay Ajayi, his ability to run with the football. You'll see his balance, his ability to take on blockers on contact, tacklers on contact, and he finds his way into the end zone. He's a lot faster than people think he is.
20th rushing touchdown of the year for Ajayi. And Dan Goodale on for the extra point. 3-minute drive ends exactly how Boise State wanted it to. Not easy to come in here and win on the blue. They've won 96% of their home games since 2000 and off to a good start on a cold night. A 6-game winning streak for Boise State, an early 7-0 lead here at home. 10-11 to go in the first quarter as the winner of this game goes on to the Mountain West Championship. Fresno State representing the other side of the conference, a win earlier today against Hawaii.
Well, that was a championship drive right there by Boise State against the #1 ranked defense in the conference.
And a quick one, just about 3 minutes. Goodale puts it in the air, and Jalen Davis, for the second time tonight, stays back in his own end zone. They'll come out to the 25, and now let's join the third member of our crew on the sideline. Here's Shelly Smith.
Guys, you know, Boise State head coach Brian Carson loves the trick play. We saw a little bit of it on that last drive, but he put in about 15 last spring. Some that he got from YouTube, some that he stole from other programs, some he asked the public, said email us, we'll try them. Said some he likes better than others. The fake punt against San Diego State, he said he turned around and said, what the heck am I doing?
Well, it's worked pretty well for him. The great architect of those teams in 2007, 2010 that went on to Fiesta Bowl wins. First down, and it's across the middle and taken away. Darian Thompson with his 14th career interception and 7th this year.
Again, Utah State is going to be aggressive in their play calling. This time, the young freshman Kent Myers is going to throw the ball a little high, a little hot to one of the good ball hawks in the Mountain West Conference, and Darian Thompson. You'll see the protection, a little play action fake. He's got the shot over the middle, but a great job of undercutting the route by Darian Thompson. And there's the reaction.
24th takeaway this year by the Boise defense. And now a short field as they open up in plus territory at the Aggie 45-yard line. Hedrick goes back to work, and Ajayi across the middle. First hit by Nick Vigil. And down just about 5 yards ahead. Let's take a look at our Northwestern Mutual planning for success.
For Utah State, you've got to win the turnover battle. You come to this game plus 12 in turnover margin. It's key when you're trying to win on the road. Stay aggressive on offense, but you got to protect the ball. For Boise State, Jay Ajayi, got to run him, and you got to rattle this young freshman quarterback.
Ball loose for Hedrick, so now he takes off. First down, and he slides right into the shins of Nick Vigil. Nice play there from the redshirt senior to turn it into a first down.
Grant Hedrick is a better athlete than people think he is. He's done a great job of being calm under pressure and then knowing when to pull the trigger to throw the ball or take off and run for positive yards.
Think of a 6 on the ground for Hedrick, who's closing in on 500 yards rushing this season. Spurbeck back to Hedrick. They've run this play a few times this year, and Hedrick is inside the 10-yard line. Hedrick has caught 2 touchdown passes this year. Usually they run it closer toward the red zone. That time, success for 24 yards.
This is what they call their strike force offense. You're going to see Spurbeck come in motion over here. The defensive eyes in pursuit come here, and your quarterback's going to go to the flat to the boundary with blockers in front of him. Grant Hedrick, again, the receiver on this. Blockers out in front, explosive play, Boise.
Now Ajayi back through the middle.
This Boise State offense has scored 100 points off of turnovers. They have a theme. When they get a turnover, there's sudden change that takes place in the game. Their offense gets fired, and they talk about strike force. We're going to score, we're going to take shot plays, we're going to be aggressive. A great example of that right here.
those 100 points off of turnovers, 13th best in the country. Hedrick running inside the 5, and he's down to the 2-yard line. Eight yards right up the middle.
And you see Hedrick again, not force the ball in the red zone. Tuck it, pick up positive yards. Again, being careful with the football, not pulling the trigger when it's not clear.
Broncos offense now gets big, loading up on tight ends at the 2. Looking to throw, corner of the end zone, and a touchdown. Alec Danins hauls it in from 2 yards out.
The one guy you're looking for and looking at in this offense down in the goal line is Jay Ajayi. And the fake goes to him. And Danins going to slip out of the backfield into the flat. No one there. Nick Vigil late on recovering. We talked about discipline being the key for this Utah State defense. So far, that's been lacking a little bit as Boise State's come out of the gate strong.
Darian Thompson, one of the leaders of this defense. His team leading 7th interception of the year. Helps Boise set up this score from 2 yards out, and it's 14-0 Broncos.
ESPN College Football Finale is brought to you by Goodyear, chosen by experts for superior performance. Goodyear, more driven.
Last night in Grove Plaza, downtown Boise, tree lighting to get the holiday season started. And the Broncos delivering a couple of gifts. 2 early touchdowns, a 14-0 lead. You're at home at Albertson Stadium.
Talked about how this Boise State offense has been clicking on all cylinders. Great example right there. The balance offensively, the creativeness in terms of willingness to be aggressive and try those gadget plays in the red zone. It's paying off for Boise State and always has.
Broncos on a 6-game winning streak, and their points have just skyrocketed, averaging 51 points a game, 552 yards of offense, and trying to finish out the regular season to take it to 10-2. Goodell puts it in the air for the 3rd time tonight and his 3rd touchback. Let's go to the studio and check in with Chris Conning.
Hi, Mike. Robert Smith is here in studio with me. Let's check in on the Iron Bowl. Amari Cooper going to be on the other end of this Sims play action, Robert. Beautiful passing catch.
Yeah, a little cross action that you saw with the receivers right there. And Amari Cooper is such a special talent. Can separate from any defensive back in the nation.
A 2-point Auburn lead over on ESPN, Mike.
All right, Chris, thanks. Kent Myers, an interception his last time onto the field. And it starts to get real loud here in Boise. Couple of blockers out ahead. Ronald Butler with his first catch of the night, the senior from New Jersey. A win and you're into the Mountain West Championship game for number 23 Boise State, ahead of then number 24 Marshall that went down yesterday. And Utah State, because of a win yesterday by Air Force over Colorado State, a chance to advance to the championship game as well. Hunt settles into the backfield. Now with some room to run, Myers takes off and picks up the first down for the Aggies.
You see Kent Myers again, the play action, trying to get him outside the pocket. Decides to take it down and run it to pick up the first down.
Running quarterbacks, sometimes a problem this year for the Boise State defense. Cody Fajardo of Nevada, 12 carries, 71 yards against him, so they got to keep an eye out for Myers. And Hunt quickly smothered by a party of blue jerseys. Second down and 10. They fake the handoff. Myers goes up the middle, and he gets bumped down to the ground, but he picks up a first down as Thompson ends the run. That's going to be another question, too, is how hard do they hit Kent Myers tonight?
USU, and they have to be careful. They have no quarterbacks after him, but the quarterback run game has been good to them. They want to be careful with it, but something they got to utilize if they're going to try and win this football game.
13-yard pickup for Utah State. Back to throw, all sorts of time. He lets it go down the middle, and the pass is caught. Ronald Butler turns it inside the 15 and is upended at the 14-yard line. Tanner Vallejo slams him to the turf, but they trust Myers with his arm and gets him in the red zone for a gain of 38.
Well, that's head coach Matt Wells and Kevin McGibbon, offensive coordinator, having confidence in the young quarterback, going right back to him after the interception, pushing the ball vertically down the field as Darian Thompson falls down and Donald Butler makes a big play. And there's Vallejo with the takedown.
They flip it back. Natson trying to turn the corner, and he's inside the 10-yard line. So both teams can effectively utilize their wide receivers. Natson has nearly unmatched speed.
Yeah, and that's a guy they've been trying to get the ball to more. Again, they don't have the horse at running back like Boise State does. The guy they give the ball to 30 times. So the wide receivers are a big part of their run game. Fly sweeps, end arounds, and you see the speed of JoJo Natson right there.
Myers with a lead blocker, and he's in untouched. Touchdown, Utah State.
You're going to see they're going to get two lead blockers out front for Kent Myers, number 33 and 21, Hunt and Jefferson Court, to lead the way for Myers. He had 3 rushing touchdowns last week, adds another one this week. This is a huge drive and score for Utah State to answer Boise State's first 2 early touchdowns.
Nick Diaz, the senior from Redondo Beach, California, try and make it a 7-point game. And he does just that with 4:32 to go here in the first quarter, and a flag on the kick.
Offside, number 3 of the defense. Penalty will be declined. Try is good.
George Harrison said all things must pass. Wasn't worried about the Utah State offense at that point. Myers rushing it in for the score. Senior night tonight here at Boise State, honoring a class that is sitting on the verge of 10 wins. They've gone through a 5-loss season last year, a head coaching change, and for one senior on this squad, much more than football. Jeremy Ioane looking for a kidney transplant and fighting a very rare disease coming up second quarter. Shelly Smith will talk with his mother about his condition today, trying to play for just the second time since October 17th. Has to undergo long sessions of dialysis, but has still remained a very important part of this team and of this senior class for Boise State. Utah State quarterback Kent Myers with a touchdown run to bring the Aggies to within a touchdown. Short kick and good starting field position for Boise State, up 7. David, you go back to that last score there by Myers. Very necessary as they try and come into a place that's been near impossible to win and quell some of that momentum for Boise State.
Yeah, Boise State at night on the blue turf. They're as tough as anybody in the country to play. This Utah State team answered. That drive was huge. And it was the young quarterback, Kent Myers' legs and arm that got him down there.
Broncos trying to make it 7 straight wins. They pounded Wyoming last week in Laramie, 63-14. Hedrick rolls out, and now he takes off, gets up ahead to the 34-yard line, and a flag on a rush of 6 yards.
See if that may be holding. Grant Hedrick is being chased down by Zach Vigil. That'll make you run fast.
Holding number 6 of the defense. The 10-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
That's on Rashard Stewart, the senior quarterback out of Miami. So move the ball and move the chains. 1st and 10 at the 44. Rowe is in motion across the formation, and that's out into plus territory, and the catch made by Spurbeck. Well, he had that throw earlier hitting Hedrick, a former high school quarterback, but also an important part of this offense is he gets 11. Earlier in the year, Matt Miller, one of the best wide receivers in school history, down with a season-ending injury. And Hedrick, everybody else says that really opened things up for the rest of this wide receiving corps. And right up the middle, Ajayi on the run, right to the marker. Ten-yard pickup.
That's just Boise State running the old power play, pulling the outside guard and attacking that Utah State defense right through the A-gaps.
Big to Ajayi, and Hedrick with the short dump off goes down to Jake Rowe. Talked about the re-emergence of tight ends under the offensive coordinator Mike Sanford. Coming back from Stanford, they like the tight ends there. And Rowe now 29 catches this year, and they use that big set down at the goal line. They've really reincorporated them back to the old Boise offense.
Yeah, I've always been a multiple tight end offense.
On the edge, Williams-Rose. And he's got a first down.
You'll see Shane Williams-Rhodes again get this handoff, and you're going to see Jeremy McNichols make the block. He's going to get that handoff at full speed, fly sweep. There's the block right there that springs him to the edge for more yards.
Because of that flip, it counts as a pass, so it goes as a reception for 13 yards. Back to the workhorse. Ajayi turned one way, now trying to cut it back to the other side of the field, and he's gone. Touchdown, Jay Ajayi. 19-yard score.
Jay Ajayi, you are ridiculous. This is unbelievable. Look, they're right there. That's one of the best defenses in the country right there, Utah State. He refuses to go down, bounces off guys, and then you see that deceptive speed we talked about to get to the corner and score.
It's a rushing defense for Utah State. Well, a strong defense that blocks the kick. Jalen Davis is headed back the other way. He's untouched. Well, just as the Utah State defense looked down, now on special teams, Travis Seafelt gets his hands in there and blocks the kick try. So 2 points for the Aggies, and it's an 11-point game. I was just about to say it's a run defense that only allows about 117 yards a game. One of the best units in the country. Jay Ajayi. The J train has left the station. Broncos by 11.
Struggling to make things right. That's how a superhero learns to fly.
Jay Ajayi already a couple touchdowns on the ground for one of the nation's busiest running backs. Put him in the conversation with Melvin Gordon, Indiana's Tevin Coleman, who went over 2,000 yards this weekend. And it's an 11-point lead for Boise State as they take on Utah State. Winner goes on to the Mountain West Championship game. Let's go back to the studio again. Here's Chris Cotter.
All right, back and forth we go over on ESPN and the Iron Bowl. Here come Alabama. Blake Sims looking, scrambling, can't find anybody open, keeps it, heading for the pylon, and he'll make it. Bama goes for 2, and they make that as well. 42-36 right now, early for a fourth quarter.
2:05 to go here in the first with David Diaz-Infante, Mike Cousins, Shelley Smith down on the sidelines. Myers hands it off. Natson outnumbered on the corner, and he goes out of the 25-yard line. It's a very varied offense. 13 different Aggies have run with the football this year. Natson coming off of a 124-yard rushing performance last week in their win against San Jose State.
And they have no rusher with 500 or more yards. So that ball is being dispersed to a lot of different guys.
And Hill gets the carry off to the right side. On Monday, 8:15 on ESPN, and watch ESPN. Ryan Tannehill leads the Dolphins into the Meadowlands for an AFC East matchup against Geno Smith and the 2-9 Jets. No other night is Monday night as the Dolphins look to keep their playoff hopes alive. Fortunately for them, they get New York 2 times in 5 games to end the year.
Fortunately, right?
Right.
Rex Ryan trying to hold on to his job. Geno Smith, the quarterback. I think that's a smart move.
Myers with a fastball tipped up and incomplete. Looking for Devontae Robinson. A 73% completion rate for Myers coming into this game. This is his 5th start of the season, but this is no easy place to play.
Now, it was just a slant to Robinson. The ball's behind him, and the defensive back was able to get his hands on it and deflect it.
Dante Dion ready to receive the record.
Jaron Bentrud on to punt, and Dante Dion back deep. Dion's got it and quickly wrapped up. Great special teams by the Aggies. And Boise back on offense on the other side. I'll tell you. You got to stay warm somehow. 29 Boise State out in front. The number 23 team in the country, led by 2 scores from Jay Ajayi.
Oh, we talked about what kind of runner he is. He's got deceptive speed. He's a ricochet runner that bounces off on contact. He's north and south. A great example of that right here. You see him bounce off Nick Vigil, get to the edge. He's going to outrun everybody to the corner. Got a football player. He gets better as the game goes on.
That last score from Ajayi came from 19 yards out. And they fake the give to him on first down. Find Jeremy McNichols taking it out to the flat for a pickup of 1. Ajayi came into this week leading the nation, 276 carries and 320 offensive touches, only behind Melvin Gordon of Wisconsin and Tevin Coleman of Indiana. All sorts of time and wide open for Jake Rowe down the sideline, and he hurdles his way to the 20-yard line. Boise moving the ball efficiently and in big chunks tonight. That is 41 yards.
Once again, we talked about their ability to use their tight end position. Another example of it there.
And Ajayi trying to cut his way through the middle, taken down by Nick Vigil, the sophomore and younger brother of the two, second leading tackler.
And remember, this is an offensive line that only returned 26 starts, and they have improved as this season has gone on. They've gelled, they're young, and they are working together to make big plays for offense.
11-point lead for Boise after 1 quarter. We'll come back and check in with Shelley when we start the second.
Welcome back to Boise, Idaho. It's 20-9, Boise State ahead of Utah State. I'm here with 2 very special people, the parents of Jeremy Ioane, Doris and Matt. We told you earlier that Jeremy is in need of a kidney transplant. He found out in May. What has this process been like for you guys to go through with him, Doris?
It's been very challenging and difficult. It's just a day-to-day for us, and just to help keep his spirits up and keep him going.
Now, he has to go through quite a process at night because he's on dialysis. He has a catheter in his stomach now. He's heavily padded. What is that like to see him go through that struggle?
As a mom, very hard. You know, I pray every day I could take it away from him, but he goes through it every day.
Where does he get his courage, Matt?
From the mom. From the mom.
The mom. From the mom. You okay?
Yeah.
What was it like tonight, senior night, to see him? You know, he wanted to play football so badly, so that's why he delayed the surgery. But what was it like to see him tonight come out on that field?
It was pretty awesome to see my son. And he enjoyed his 5 years here, actually, at being a Bronco. So.
And you, and seeing your whole family here?
It's been a wonderful experience. Everything that's happened, you know, we're very grateful to Bronco Nation, the school.
Now, Doris, you're waiting to see if you are a match. How troubling is that process as well?
Well, right now it takes about 4 to 6 weeks, so I'm going through the process right now, and I'm just crossing my fingers and praying that I'm a match so we could get this going.
Okay, thank you guys so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Back to you guys.
Shelley, thank you. They moved here from Honolulu back in 2012 after his son was born, and of course now a much bigger part of his life. First down and goal for Boise State. 11 yards on those last 2 plays, and Ajayi cutting his way in, spinning, and across the goal line. His 3rd touchdown of the night.
They're just going to run a split zone, and Jay Ajayi knows exactly what to do. North and south, follows his blockers, and then on contact, finds a way to spin off the tackle and get in the end zone for 6.
David, you said earlier he gets better as the game goes along. I'd be worried to see him get better at this point.
He really is a workhorse. He's what you call a volume runner. The more carries he gets, the more rhythm he gets, the more lathered up he gets. Like a horse.
Last year he went for 22 carries, 109 yards against Utah State. 3 scores on the ground so far tonight. Bronco fans from Arco to Worley are happy so far. 27-9, Boise State leads Utah State 2nd quarter. And celebrating its 10th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. Since 2005, Allstate has contributed more than $3.7 million in scholarship funds. into the wind. First non-touchback of the night from Dan Goodale. And the ball is loose on the return. Broncos recover at the 23-yard line. Second turnover of the game for Utah State, and this is great field position for the #1 offense in the Mountain West.
We talked about having to win the turnover battle, and then here it is. Jeremy McNichols, number 13, is going to get the strip from behind, and Chris Santini's going to recover. Strike force offense coming on the field. Sudden change. How do they deal with it? How does the defense stand up for Utah State, and how aggressive is Boise State on offense?
They're looking for another gadget play. Spurbeck, and he tosses it out of bounds.
Well, just on the last drive, Spurbeck had the option to throw as he was running, kept it, picked up 5 yards, and that time he makes a smart choice again.
Right, again, the strike force offense down this red zone after sudden change. They're going to be aggressive. The play did not work, but the smart thing by Spurbeck was to throw the ball away.
Former high school quarterback whose dad, Marshall, was a starting quarterback at Nevada back in the early 80s. Runs in the family. And Ajayi inside the 20-yard line. What's been impressive about him tonight, first contact has never been the tackling.
Yeah, and you see what he does to the pile. It moves forward. Nice job by the offensive line there. They're being physical at the point of attack. And again, against the best defense in the Mountain West Conference. The top defenses in the country.
Utah State defense only allows 18 points a game, 10th best in the country. Third down and 7 now for Hedrick and the Broncos. He goes across the middle, it's Rowe. Inside the 10 to the 5. And Rowe has been a big factor in the passing game tonight. $14 yards as they move it to the 5-yard line.
Yeah, that was Rowe just on a shallow crossing route, open underneath.
Direct snap, and it's touchdown number 4 of the night for Ajayi. Flags come in, though. Hold the celebrations.
Holding number 87 of the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Tight end Alec Danins, who's already caught a touchdown pass tonight, called for the hold.
See number 87 right there against Nick Vigil. He's going to tug that jersey, grab it, and the official right behind sees it. That's enough to keep Nick Vigil from making that play, or having a chance at making that play. And he's getting an earful from Coach Harsin.
Understandably so. They've really cut down on their penalties. Last 3 games, they've only been whistled on average for 4 penalties a game. Pocket collapses on Hedrick, and he's down inside the 15, pickup of 1 yard.
That was B.J. Larson there, creating some havoc inside.
Ball on the 14, Ajayi goes into the backfield. Hedrick throwing, end zone, and it's a touchdown to Spurbeck. Flag, though, back at the 17.
Holding number 72 of the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
It's Marcus Henry, the center. Mistakes and penalties in the red zone. You'll see number 72 right there. And that's Larson, gets him on the arm over, and he tackles him, takes him down. They'll call that every time. Whenever they see a defender go down the ground and unnaturally, it's always a trigger for an official to throw that flag.
So moving them back all the way to the 24-yard line. Spur back over the middle, inside the 5. Second effort. He is in again. "24 yards out." Number 1 defense meet the number 1 offense in the Mountain West.
That's right. You'll see Grant Hendrick again look off to his right, knows he's got Spurbeck coming. Spurbeck up back over the middle, up the seam. What big shoes Spurbeck has had to fill with the injuries. He's one of the leading receivers in the Mountain West Conference, and Matt Miller.
Third time's the charm. Boise's got 34 tonight in the 43rd state.
ESPN College Football Finale is brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Leave worry behind and stop by Jiffy Lube today for a signature service oil change.
There goes the diet. You get 1 pound and 2 pound burgers at Big Judd's. You can become Big DDI, Big Mike.
Bigger.
Right.
Believe me, the holidays already starting to take its toll on me.
290 yards of total offense for Boise State. 5 of 5 inside the red zone on a windy night. They'll tee this one up again. Well, the last kickoff was into the wind. It ended up being fumbled away by Jalen Davis, and it set up the short field for the Broncos. And this hangs short again. Davis to the 20, and a flag is down at the 15-yard line.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 17 of the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. First down.
And let's go to Chris Connor again in the studio.
All right, Mike, Alabama's really poured it on in the second half. Blake Sims' 4th touchdown pass of the night, this time to the Andrew White, 6 yards. They went for 2, didn't get it. But right now it's a 12-point Alabama lead. About 5 minutes left to go over on ESPN.
Boise State so far perfect inside the red zone, and now they've got Utah State pinned back deep.
Mike Sanford, offensive coordinator, said they slowed their tempo down in the red zone. Early in the year, they're going hurry up, and they're a lot more deliberate, and it has really paid off.
Joe Hill with nowhere to go on first down.
Tyler Gray and Kamale Correa coming in there and wreaking havoc. This is Boise State defense starting to feed off their offense and attacking the line of scrimmage. You're going to see him. He sees the guard pull. He attacks the line of scrimmage. That's Tyler Gray. Nice job. Good eyes.
And a loss of 3. Myers from his own end zone, incomplete. Looking for Jefferson Court.
You'll see Kent Myers, a freshman, feet getting a little happy in the pocket. That ball was a little bit behind Jefferson Court. You'll see in the play action, looking downfield, coming back around. He's got Vallejo in his face, and the ball is off target.
They're going to have to punt again. 0 for 3 on third downs tonight.
They were just trying to give their punter some room. They'll still be punting out of their own end zone. We'll see how much pressure Boise State decides to bring.
It's a tough task here for Bentrude, averaging 41 yards a kick this year. Dante Dion is back just past midfield. Wind at his back. High kick, and Dion lets it go. And it's a Utah State bounce all the way back to the Bronco 36-yard line. Let's go down to Shelley.
Defensive coordinator from Boise State, Marcel Yates, told us that the motto of this defense is 3 and out. Watch me now. That's what they say, because we're going to get a 3 and out, so you better watch me now, because you're not going to have a lot of time later. They do have 63 3 and outs this season, and that is 7th in college football, so watch them now.
Yeah, it's the one thing their defense takes pride in, too, after sudden change. If something happens bad offensively, can the defense make up for it and give the ball back to their offense?
Ajayi, the workhorse, gets the first down carry. Marcel Yates, the defensive coordinator. Mike Sanford, the offensive coordinator. Both guys that have been here at Boise, left, come back. There's a lot of pride just in the nature of the history of this program, too.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of these coaches are former players here at Boise State. They understand the history, the tradition, and really the pride that they take place of playing on this blue turf in front of a national audience.
And a short gain, maybe 1. Sets up third down after the carry by Hedrick.
There's a mix-up on the backfield that time. See right there on the coaching staff, 13 or 18 members, played or coached at Boise State. Gotta love it. Ryan Harson bringing guys back.
Injured player on the field for Boise, and we'll step aside, come right back to Idaho.
Chris Cotter in studio with an update on the Iron Bowl, and Alabama has scored 28 unanswered points in the second half. Here are the final 6 plus 1. It's Derrick Henry, 25 yards for the score. They kick the extra point. About 2.5 minutes left to go on ESPN. It's all Bama, Mike.
Chris, Boise has been trying to match that offensive surge from the Crimson Tide as well. With a 34-9 advantage here and a trip to the Mountain West Championship game on the line. Third down and 7 for Grant Hedrick in the offense. Injured player was Connor Peters, one of the tight ends. Big time rush. He steps up into it, and it is knocked away along the far sideline. Nice job by Devin Centers.
Devin Centers again looks like he had a chance. He almost picked that ball off. You're going to see Frankie Satera come down on a free safety blitz. Boise State picks it up, and boy, Centers was close, undercutting that route on Spurbeck.
So this sets things up now. The first punt of the night for the Broncos, and the first time they have failed to score a touchdown. JoJo Natson, a couple of return touchdowns this year, but into the wind. It's a tough time for Sean Whale. 8:52 to go here, second quarter. We remind you to get your NFL Sunday started on ESPN beginning at 10 a.m. It's Sunday NFL Countdown presented by Snickers. Chris Berman and the gang give you all the latest news and updates from stadiums around the league right up until kickoff. And the NFL Countdown also available live on Watch ESPN. Average starting field position tonight has been inside the 25, but after a 22-yard punt, the Aggies open things up on the 39-yard line. Cartwright comes in for the backside on a handoff to Hill.
Holding number 40 of the defense. The 10-yard penalties added to the end of the run. First down.
Nose tackle Armand Nance called for the penalty.
That's a call you usually don't get inside the trenches. The defensive lineman, usually when there's a double team block coming to him and another lineman's trying to escape to the linebacker, defensive lineman will pull and grab the offensive lineman. You'll see him there grab the center, prevent him from getting to the linebacker. Official saw it and called it.
And now the officials confer as there may be an issue with one of the play clocks.
Stop play. The play clock is not functioning. We will keep the play clock time on the field.
We've got our backup abacus ready to go up here as well if necessary. A first down and 10 after the penalty.
I'll use my fingers and toes.
Sharp in motion, 3 wide receivers. Myers on the move. And the catch made by Natson. Tumbling across the 35, a first down for Utah State.
To Natson. 14-yard gain, first down for Utah State.
Natson, their most versatile threat, coming into the game with just under 550 or 450 yards receiving. Only one wide receiver, Hunter Sharp, more than 500 yards. Now they're looking deep toward the end zone, incomplete. Devontae Robinson, the intended wide receiver, in the one-on-one coverage.
You'll see Robinson start to go up. A great job of looking back for the football by Dante Dion.
Dion, second on the team, 4 interceptions this year. Got his eyes turned. Sets up a second down and 10. Hunt the carry, cuts it back through the middle. And the initial spot is right along the first down marker. They move the chains. Under 8 minutes to go here before halftime. Utah State, a touchdown and a blocked extra point has accounted for their offense so far. Natson's got it. He flips it back to Butler, and down he goes at the 45-yard line.
Kamale Correa. He's seen these gadget plays before. They practice against them all the time. Watch him chase and blitz the line of scrimmage at the level of the football and make the tackle for a loss right after the exchange to Ronald Butler.
In reverse, a loss of 11 yards on the play. So 2nd and 21 for the freshman quarterback, Kent Myers. Whistles come in before the snap. And an infraction along the line.
False start. Number 9 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And that's on the receiver, Natson. Fresno State with a win earlier today, so they are on to the Mountain West Championship game. And Utah State was on the bus here yesterday when Air Force picked up a win over Colorado State, making this a must-win game to go on to the Mountain West Championship game. Defense swarms again. Gabe Perez with a tackle.
You're going to see the defense right there. They're running a TE stunt with edge pressure. Gabe Perez comes free and makes a sack on the freshman quarterback, Kent Myers.
3 straight tackles for a loss, and it's 3rd down and 28. They got to get the ball to the 16-yard line to convert. Pressure up the middle. Screen goes to Robinson. Not enough yardage. They had to go about a mile. And perhaps to the edge of field goal range, but it is 4th down. And they're trailing big time here with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Oh, I thought they were going to go for it.
So Matt Wells makes the decision to bring on the field goal unit. And Nick Diaz on for the try. His long this year, 49 yards.
Got the wind at his back. I think that helped in the decision making.
This try from 46. And right down the middle. So Utah State now scoring in a triumvirate of ways. A touchdown, a blocked extra point, and Diaz with his 12th made field goal of the year. Broncos still lead. Boise State up big, trying to go to 10-2 to close out the regular season. And they've got their eyes on something bigger as well, perhaps a New Year's Six bowl game. Right now, early projections from Heather Dinich say the Fiesta Bowl in Glendale, Arizona for Boise State if they can win out. And a field goal for Utah State helps bring the Aggies a little bit closer, 34-12 with 4:39 to go until halftime. Shelly Smith on the sidelines, Mike Cousins, David Diaz, and Fonte. Glad to have you along tonight here in Boise. And the return out across the 35-yard line. So #1 offense versus #1 defense in the Mountain West, but Boise has really shown its merit on defense.
Well, remember, this Utah State offense has come up off their best game of the year, 41 points against San Jose State last week, 313 yards rushing. This defense has been dominant, tackling the line of scrimmage, and I think they wanted to show a point going, hey, Utah State may be the #1 defense in the Mountain West Conference, but we've been playing pretty darn well as of late, and they are showing on both sides of the ball, dominating this football game tonight.
Hedrick goes to work. Spurbeck along the outside and met by a couple of white jerseys. You go back to the end of September for the Broncos. They're 3-2. Their quarterback had been benched. They didn't know where the season was going after a 5-loss campaign last year. Now they've rattled off 6 straight and look good as ever here at home tonight.
Well, you have to remember, too, this is a new system, some new terminology. And so this offense is really starting to hit its stride as our quarterback has gotten more comfortable in terms of executing what the expectations are, where their weapons are, how to deal with the loss of Matt Miller. And then the one thing they have known, and it's been a constant, has been number 27, Jay Ajayi.
And he has been stellar so far tonight. Ajayi, 13 carries, 84 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the ground. Hedrick goes down on the carry, brought down by Zach Vigil. So there you go, first 5 and then the last 6, where the point total has almost doubled.
Well, it's really a credit to this offense as a whole. The offensive line has gelled and matured through the course of the season and gotten better. And also their quarterback has done a great job. He's taken more of a leadership role. He's learned how to lead. He's taken care of the football, and he's been very accurate as well.
After a loss of 2, they run it back up the middle with Jeremy McNichols. Hedrick just making his 17th career start tonight. Here's a guy who wasn't sure what his career was going to look like last year, and an injury really propelled him into the spotlight.
Yeah, that's right. Remember, Brian Harsin recruited him. And now they're back together and reunited for his senior year. And he's done a heck of a job. And they've maximized his talent. He has grown into the position. And like I said, this offense is playing their best football right now when it's the most important this time of year in November, December.
Third and 7. The Aggies bring pressure. Hedrick makes the right choice, and it's Shane Williams-Rhodes with a first down catch.
You're going to see the pressure coming from off the slot and from the free safety. Hedrick knows exactly where he wants to go to the ball. His receiver breaks in, and what a throw into a tight window.
At the 37.
Nice job.
So 13 out of 15 tonight for 166 yards. And they've got to cover up there now inside of 2 minutes. Coming into this game, Hedrick, second in the country in completion percentage, only behind UCLA's Brett Hundley. He doesn't have the strong arm to whip it down the field all over the place, but he makes such good decisions.
Yeah, that's right. He's not a tremendous arm talent, but it's good enough. He knows where to go with the football, and they've done a great job of fitting their offense to their personnel, knowing that you got a horse at the running back position at Jai.
Blitz coming, and the pass falls incomplete. Minute 23 to go. Let's go to the studio once again.
Mike David, BMW halftime report coming your way in a little bit. Robert Smith, Brett McMurphy will join me. There was a wild Iron Bowl tonight. We've got highlights of that game. Plus, earlier in the day, Florida State and Mississippi State tested. We'll show you highlights of those two. And Ohio State won their game against Michigan, but they lost the Heisman Trophy contending quarterback. We'll update you on JT Barrett's status coming up.
We're looking forward to that, Chris. Down goes Hedrick as the Aggies get to the quarterback, and there is a flag on the sack back at the 50-yard line.
Holding number 39 of the defense. The penalty will be 10 yards from the previous spot. Third down.
Torrey Green, the junior linebacker out of Riverside, California. Not pleasing for head coach Matt Wells.
Well, you'll see this pressure right over the middle. There's number 39, Green, grabbing the center, clearing the way for Nick Vigil. Does a great job of going over a block of Ajayi to get that sack, but the official called it. Thought he was picking the center and grabbing him, holding.
So 5 out of 6 on third downs tonight for the Broncos. All to the 30-yard line. More pressure, ball batted away right at the line of scrimmage. Brian Sweet, the free safety, coming in. They've sent him a couple times tonight, fourth down.
The crowd wants him to go for it. And Grant Hedrick is not coming off the field.
How about this? A 34-12 lead. And for just the 20th time this year, the Broncos are set to go for it on fourth down. 9 of 19 on fourth down attempts this season. Hedrick in the pocket, incomplete. Broncos want a flag, they don't get one. And now here's a very late flag from the backside of the play. As it stands, a turnover on downs, but there's a flag down at the 15-yard line.
I think they may call Devin Centers for taunting or face mask. I don't know what happened there. You can't take your helmet off on the field as well.
After the play was over, personal foul against the defense. Utah State will have a first down, but the 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous spot. First down.
So not exact clarification on what the penalty was, but given the nature of
Correction
the turnover,
on the foul was an
after the play.
unsportsmanlike conduct foul, number 37.
There you go. That's Devin Centers.
They did call Devin Centers on that. Todd Orlando brings pressure on 4th down. Devin Centers is there to make a great play, but you got to maintain control, emotional control. Big play, great play. No reason to taunt. You got the ball back, get back to the sidelines. Now you just cost your team.
It's a matter of situational knowledge there. They're down big, so he gets in the face of Jake Rowe and does the J train motion, which is what Jay Ajayi has trademarked for himself when he gets into the end zone. But a look at the scoreboard really tells the whole story.
Yeah, it costs your team yards when you're fighting and scrapping for everything you can get here in this first half of football.
Pressure comes. Myers evades the first wave. He keeps it moving across the 25, trying to get out of bounds, and does just that, a 15-yard scramble on 1st down.
This is a dimension that Kent Myers brings to this offense. Look, Bo Martin has a win there for the sack. He misses it, and Kent Myers takes off. Does a great job of getting what he could get, working towards the sidelines and stopping the clock.
So now they basically get back what they lost on that personal foul penalty. Ball to 30. They've got all their timeouts. Myers down, and the ball is incomplete. It looked like they pointed back to where his knee may have hit the ground, but now they say incomplete.
This Boise State defense is attacking now as they bring pressure right up the middle. Kamale Correa again coming free up the gut. The knee is down, and then he throws the ball. Great call by the officials.
And that's important, too, for Utah State if they're going to try and mount any type of a drive here, whether it stops the clock or it keeps it going. Incomplete pass versus knee down. Clock runs. Loss of 5. Myers hit as he throws, and the pass is dropped by Robinson. And now just 12 seconds left, and a long way to go for the Aggies.
And you'll see the pressure there. Gabe Perez fighting off the block of Lawan Hunt. Contact in the field, and Jonathan Moxie there to make the play after Robinson had a chance to make that catch. It was in his hands.
Utah State has not converted a 3rd down tonight, and the trend continues. Myers right now scrambling for his life, the 4th-string quarterback for this team, trying to do anything he can. 9 yards on the run.
Well, Bo Martin again. You'll see him down left of your screen. Great move, double wipe, gets to the edge. Can't finish the play and get the sack because of Myers' athleticism. And again, he's going to find a way to make his way out of bounds.
And it's 34-12 at the half. So Boise State comes into this game, trip to the Mountain West Championship game on the line, not only with the #1 offense in the Mountain West, but tonight they're looking like the #1 defense as well.
Well, they're looking like the #1 team in the Mountain West Conference, what they're doing, playing complementary football. You can see why they are peaking at the right time. The 6-game win streak, twice they scored 50 points, twice they scored 60 points. It's no fluke. This offense is humming, and the defense is playing off of it.
Let's go down to the sideline. Brian Harsin with Shelley.
Coach, you start this game 4 straight touchdown drives. Why were you so effective against a very good defense?
Well, you know, guys were executing, doing their jobs. Got some good field position in there as well. We got to continue that. We didn't finish very well in the half there. We got to come out and do our best stuff and get ourselves back to executing that way.
Defense attacking as well. How do you keep that pressure on and stop the big play?
We'll come back at halftime 0-0, and they're going to make adjustments. We have to make our adjustments. We got to come out and finish the game. The game's not over at half, so we got to finish it.
Great, thanks so much.
A great half for Boise State, led by Jay Ajayi. 3 touchdowns so far, helping the Broncos to a 34-12 lead. And let's go back to Chris Cotter in the studio.
ESPN is your home of the new college football playoff.
In Boise, Idaho, and a trip to the Mountain West Championship game on the line. Boise State, a dominant effort in the first half, up by 22 over the visiting Aggies from Logan, Utah. They bust up yesterday about 4 hours, and Boise State won the opening kickoff. They choose to receive here. The Aggies trying to regain possession quickly, and to no avail. Let's go down to Shelley Smith.
Utah State head coach Matt Wells told me he was shocked the way Boise State came out and just took it to them. 4 straight touchdown drives. He goes, I just couldn't believe that we let that up. We gave that to them. We didn't give it to them. They hit us hard. They will make some adjustments defensively in the front 7. He said offensively we weren't that bad, but now it's a completely different ball game. We have to absolutely change what we were planning on doing.
Well, they've had to do that several times this year, being on their 4th starting quarterback. Jay Ajayi gets the carry, and a pickup of 3. 14th handoff to Ajayi, now up to 87 yards on the night. 3 touchdowns for him in the first half as well. Second and 7, and they get to Hedrick. They take him down. The pressure finally gets through. Frankie Sotero with the sack.
You'll see Todd Orlando, defensive coordinator from Utah State, sending pressure. And again, Frankie Sotero, you're going to see him coming down right there. You're going to come clean. They bring one more, then they can block. He gets a sack and the hit.
And a loss of 7 yards. So 3rd down and 14 for Boise. Hedrick's got to scramble again, and an ankle tackle. Zach Vigil, team's leading tackler, brings him down, and a 3-and-out on drive number 1.
You'll see pressure again come by Utah State, and both blitzers take each other out. Allows Hedrick an avenue for escape. You'll see right here, watch the 2 blitzers come right up the middle, take each other out, and that's all Hedrick needs to escape, and Zach Vigil there to make the tackle by the ankles. Seems like they've been chasing Boise State players all night long. That's Zach Vigil's 7th tackle.
Gives him 140 on the year. A pretty astronomical number for the team's leading tackler. That punt rolls all the way down to the 11-yard line. So Matt Wells said down 22. His team needed to change things up, and the #1 defense in the Mountain West gets the job done to open up the second half. Aggies with the ball at the 11-yard line on the other side. Tuesday night, the ACC Big Ten Challenge is back on ESPN. It gets going 7:30 as Rakeem Christmas leads a young Syracuse team against Zach Irvin of Michigan. Then 9:30, number 16 Ohio State. Look out for D'Angelo Russell, lefty sharpshooter, against Montrezl Harrell, and number 6 Louisville. You're on the home court of college hoops. Shelley Smith down on the sidelines. Mike Cousins, David Diaz-Infante, glad to have you along. As it's Utah State back to work. JoJo Natson with the first down reception after the Aggies' #1 defense in the conference forced a 3-and-out.
That's a great example of kind of how this night's gone for Utah State offensively. JoJo Natson outstanding in space and on the edge. Kind of trips over his own guy and ends up picking up, 3-4 yards instead of 10 or 12 yards like he normally does.
They fake the handoff, and Sharp has the catch and a first down. David, let's look back now at our Northwestern Mutual plan for success and see how smart you are tonight.
Well, I don't know how smart I am, but I tell you what, I know a thing or two about trying to win on the road. And Utah State, we talked about the turnover, about a -2 tonight. They've tried to be aggressive on offense. They just haven't been able to connect. And Boise State, they're running with the Jai.
Natson had the carry, and it looked like his right ankle may have just given way there. Biggest weapon that Utah State has offensively, and Natson goes down behind the line of scrimmage.
Boy, that looks like one of those turf injuries. You catch your knee or your foot on the turf. Get a look at that right here. You're going to see him take the hand off and start to make a cut, and his leg's just going to give out. His ankle, I think you were right. Looks like his right ankle just caught the turf, or it looks like he's grabbing his knee. Boy, you hate to see that. He's such a dynamic player, and he's the X factor on that offense.
He's the X factor everywhere across the field. The only player in college football with multiple touchdowns receiving, rushing, and in the return game. And the right ankle right there twists.
Ankle, looks like he kind of hyperextended his knee a little bit too. His knee locked out on him. Yeah, he went down immediately. It's good to see him walking off. It's nice to be young. A guy like myself would have had to been carted off right then. When you're young and flexible, you got a chance at least.
So a loss of 4, 2nd down and 14. Myers too strong. Past Hunter Sharp, the team's leading receiver on the year. 3rd down.
Jonathan Moxey was there waiting to deliver that hit.
Utah State yet to convert on 3rd down tonight. Robinson with the football back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Kamale Correa running with him toward the sideline.
Just running the fly sweep with quarterback power behind it. Boise State all over it into the boundary.
Jaron Bentrude on to punt. Dante Dion back to receive. Wind at his back. Spiraling kick. Bounces out of bounds, but a late flag. 2 flags as a matter of fact.
While the kick was in the air, holding number 3 of the receiving team. The 10-yard penalty will be enforced from where the kick ended. 1st down.
Boise State lighting up the scoreboard. Christmas tree lit up downtown west of the Rockies. Well, the Boise attack tonight powered by one of the top running backs in the country, Jay Ajayi. 3 scores on the ground.
He has done it attacking the line of scrimmage. That Utah State defense, the #1 ranked defense, coming into this game in the Mountain West Conference. He's done it with speed and with power, along with some blocking from his offensive line. Guy's legs never stop, and he gets better with time.
87 yards rushing for Ajayi against a run defense that leads the conference. 117 yards a game allowed rushing by Utah State. Boise doing its best to crush those numbers tonight. Travis Seafelt making the stop there on Ajayi. And to think, he was born in England. His parents are of Nigerian descent. They wanted him to play soccer growing up, wanted him to try out for the Nigerian national team. But when they moved to Texas, when he was young, he picked up football. And
you don't play soccer in Texas. It's all about football now. I think he's one of those guys who could play anything.
Just great natural ability. And he gets the catch there. It sets up a 3rd down.
Well, this Utah State defense has come out a little fired up here in the second half. They've got him in 3rd and long again. Todd Orlando dialing up pressure.
Hedrick rolling out and hits Williams Rhodes for the 1st down. Only 2 catches last week in their huge win over Wyoming on the road, but the 5'6" wide receiver moves the chains.
Boise State expecting pressure. They move the pocket to get Hedrick out on the edge, and he completes the pass to Williams Rhodes.
And Ajayi, strong effort, tumbling toward midfield. Eight-yard carry. Hedrick off to Ajayi. Hedrick out of Independence, Oregon. Ryan Harsin, now the head coach, was his quarterback coach when he was recruited here. Went through the loss of Chris Peterson as the head coach, off to Washington, and now reunited with Harsin at the helm. To the 50-yard line, a 1st down for the Broncos. So Ajayi over 100 yards on the night for the 15th time in his career. There are questions, David, as to what the future may hold for Ajayi, perhaps as a professional.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll go through the evaluation process to see where he's projected.
They go back to Ajayi and a 4-yard pickup.
It's kind of a double-edged sword if you're a running back these days, because guys aren't being drafted as high as they used to, but it's also the position that you only have so many carries in the life of your career. And he's already had a lot of carries. So there's 2 factors you got to weigh. 1, how high will you project to get drafted? And 2, what's your volume of carries been like in college, and how's it project in the pros?
18 carries for him tonight. So now up to 294 carries on the year. That's tops in the nation. And a delay give to the left side, down to the 45-yard line as Boise continues to run the clock here with this 22-point lead. And I think that's a good point, too, is the heavy usage isn't just this year in a redesigned offense. After last year they worked with the pistol. He had heavy usage last year, too. So they've taken almost a pro-style approach in how they work him during the week in practice, extra ice baths, and the load not quite as heavy midweek.
Yeah, it's about the recovery. And he's a guy that's proved he can handle it.
Here comes pressure. Hedrick, a little juke step. And 2 yards shy of the 1st down, so it's 4th and about 2 for the Broncos.
That's one thing about defensive coordinator Todd Orlando. He's going to dial up pressure all the time. He involves his safeties. He allows them to attack the line of scrimmage, create pressure and havoc. So far, Boise State has had the answer, but here in the second half, this defense has been very effective.
They load up here and get big.
Watch a quick kick.
That's exactly what they do. Hedrick looking like he's done it a million times before. Swooped up by Dallas Burrows and a 40-yard kick. Do it all for the senior. Utah State takes over after Hedrick's quick kick. Tuesday at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Also on Watch ESPN, the College Football Playoff Selection Committee's latest rankings are revealed. Find out who's in the penultimate ranking show, College Football Playoff Top 25, presented by AT&T. And a look at this week's Chick-fil-A College Football Rankings. Egg Bowl, Mississippi State, Ole Miss. So it's going to be a bit of a scramble now. And in the end zone, a scramble as well. Utah State with the ball, but the ruling is just across the goal line. They've already had one 2-point play in this game. It's a blocked extra point.
Kamale Correa, again, just a sophomore. He is in the backfield once again. Added to his total of tackles for a loss. Came into this game with 13.5 tackles for a loss and 8.5 sacks.
Myers 5 yards deep. High snap, gets rid of it, incomplete. First time he's looked to his tight end, Wyatt Houston, tonight. Houston hasn't had a reception all season.
Myers gets a high snap. Misses the throw, although it was catchable. The windows are getting tighter and the pressure keeps coming by Boise State.
Myers turns the corner. He's got room to go. Ball is loose and out of bounds. Stripped out by Cleyshawn Page. Did not look like Myers got enough for the first down. Gets 9 yards and a 4th down and 2 after the run by the freshman quarterback.
See Myers get to the edge, and Page does a great job of tackling the football. Aggies going to be forced to punt.
Burchard had the wind at his back. And the ball out to the 42-yard line, and the return by Brian Douglas. Monday, 8:15 Eastern on ESPN, and watch ESPN. Ryan Tannehill leads the Dolphins as they try and keep their playoff hopes alive for an AFC matchup against Geno Smith and the Jets. No other night is Monday night. And the Dolphins, you see there on the right side, still in the hunt, but they're behind 5 teams that are set up right now at 7 and 4, fighting for those 2 wild card spots that right now belong to the AFC West.
One thing they have going for them, boys, an aggressive front that knows how to get after the quarterback.
Ajayi takes the pitch on 1st down and 10 and gets himself across midfield, tackled by Zach Vigil. 8 yards for Ajayi, who's already over 100 yards tonight for the 7th straight game. $114 for the redshirt junior. Interestingly enough, although it hasn't been much of a factor tonight, how much of a weapon he is. He's also the team's 2nd leading receiver on the year. Flip the play to the right side. He had Alec Danins as a lead blocker heading that way. 3rd down and a yard to go.
That's Frankie Sutera coming in to stop Ajayi short of the 1st down.
Has this offense in the second half, David, looked a little bit less explosive to you?
Yeah, it has, and you got to give credit to Utah State's defense and Todd Orlando, defensive coordinator, just dialing up pressure. He's going to attack you. No mystery who's getting the ball right now.
Hedrick tries to sneak it, and he may not have gotten first down yardage.
Well, I think he's going to be short. Things are getting hot in there.
Already seen one personal foul penalty come in. And they mark it as fourth down.
Instead of giving the ball to Ajayi, they go with the quarterback sneak. And Hedrick, I don't think he got there. There's no way.
So third time that Boise State lines up to go for it on fourth down tonight. And this time they do convert. First down, Broncos.
I tell you what, you got to give credit to this Utah State defense. Look, they came out and they were punched right in the mouth by Boise State in this first half. But they have not quit. They continue to battle. And it's the Vigil brothers. They're still there leading this defense, and they've got no quit in them.
It's an Aggie team that has
the
won
ruling
5
on the field
straight.
on a first down is under further review.
So replay official Thomas Robinson will hop on the headset for the first time tonight and take a second look at the sneak by Hedrick.
I think the quick count got him. Looks like he certainly had enough surge by that offensive line to pick up the first down. The yard to gain right there.
His forward progress there should be enough for the first down.
I'll tell you where that ball's sitting right now. That is.
Realize that angle is not even with the line, but it certainly looked good enough.
Torrey Green back there just grabbing him by the waist and working him back. Sweet Vigil. Brian Harson's going, are you kidding me?
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
Stands. It was not confirmed.
Right. That's surprising.
Well, I think you might have hit the nail right on the head with the angle of the camera. You can't make that assumption. You either have to see it clearly or not.
Right.
Indisputable video evidence. In that case, it wasn't indisputable, but it wasn't enough to say he didn't make it. That's why the call stands.
So first down and 10 for the 47. Hedrick gets rid of it. And the catch is made by Williams Rhodes. 5-yard pickup for the junior out of Spring, Texas.
You know, one area that Hedrick has really improved is in his pocket presence. He used to escape early and go left to right. Now he climbs it, knows what to do, keeps his eyes downfield, and under duress able to find his wide receiver. An area of his game the offense coordinator Mike Sanford challenged him to get better at, and he has.
Another complete pass. Again, here's a guy who completes better than 70% of his throws. Chaz Anderson makes the catch. Former defensive back turned wide receiver at the beginning of this year. And Hedrick's not a big guy either, only 6 feet tall as a quarterback.
Well, he just took a hit by Torrey Green as well. And or Devin Centers came in and delivered a hit as he completed that pass. But, you know, they had 21 sacks coming into the season. And a lot of those when Hedrick was scrambling.
Scrambles again and gets rid of it.
He was outside the pocket, but I don't think the ball went past.
Did it go back
the
to the
line of scrimmage? Yeah. I think that would be the correct call.
Intentional grounding, number 9 of the offense. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Loss of down.
David Moala came screaming right up the middle. Sometimes the offensive line, they're setting up a screen. You got to make sure you slow them down enough, not to stop their rush completely, but to give your quarterback enough time to hit the screen.
Well, even after that play tonight, still completing 74% of his throws. Came into the night second in the country in completion percentage behind UCLA's Brett Hundley. Down the middle and incomplete. In and out of the hands of Rowe. He's been the second leading receiver tonight. 4 catches for Rowe, only behind the 5 of Williams-Rhodes.
And a great example of his ability, again, to climb the pocket. Came with 21 sacks, but they've only given up 1 sack a game in the last 3 games. So a lot of that has to do with his ability to climb the pocket instead of trying to escape all the time. That time, a good job of climbing the pocket, finding his receiver. Rowe just couldn't hang on to it.
Now pressure, and he goes down. Well timed as they shoot the gap, and it's Nick Vigil who brings him to the turf.
Well, it's that same blitzer we're bringing. Double-A they stack the backers right there, and they play off each other. Centers goes one way, and Vigil goes the other.
3rd sack of the night by Utah State. 46 as a team this season, but it's Boise State still with the sizable advantage, and a trip to the conference championship game awaits. So 1:37 to go here in the 3rd. Utah State will try and get the offense churning when we come back. Seminoles found a way to get it done again today. They stay undefeated with a win over Florida. And number 23, Boise State, up over Utah State, a pair of 9-win teams tonight here in the City of Trees. Flag down on a 1st down run for the Aggies. Lawan Hunt, the freshman, with the carry.
Holding, number 98 of the defense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. 1st down.
Antoine Turner, the redshirt junior, picks up the flag.
And that's the 3rd time they've been called for that. I've never seen that before.
So what's going on when,
I'm all for
when there's
it.
holding along the line?
I never got any of those calls.
Myers all sorts of time. Lofts it too long. Trying to find Devontae Robinson once again.
As Gabe Perez right in his face as he's trying to throw that football down the field. They've taken their shots. Boise State's just done a great job of defending the vertical passing game of Utah State and Kent Myers.
Myers 7 of 16 for 88 yards. Now give him his 8th completion of the night to the edge, and Wyatt Houston has his 1st catch of the year for the tight end out of Oregon. Oh for 7 on 3rd downs for Utah State. Open space up the middle. Myers sees it, nowhere to go, and he's grabbed by Turner, flagged earlier on the drive, and only a gain of 2. Here comes the punt team. Dante Dion is back for Boise State. early whistle. The flag comes in.
There is no play. False start. Number 31 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
So penalty yards have accrued just about evenly on both sides. There's 6 penalties, especially against Boise State, almost doubling what they've done over the last 3 games. Ventruda, the wind at his back. And a fair catch with 2 seconds left for the Broncos.
Well, this Utah State offense has not found the answer against this Boise State defense.
First down, Broncos. 22-yard line. Almost 70 remaining quarters.
I think that was a big question, too, as far as for Utah State. Chucky Keaton went down early in September, tore his ACL. Now on their 4th starting quarterback of the year. 4 wins for Myers coming into the game, but how long would that streak continue? And a strong run there by Ajayi as he continues what has been another banner night for Boise State. Since 2000, they have won 96% of their games here at home. On the way to adding to that total. They're doing triage right now with the Mountain West Championship bid on the line. Boise State up big. And, you know, when Petey Pablo sang the lyric to take your shirt off and wave it around your head, he didn't mean do it in 33-degree weather. Perhaps in North Carolina is a better choice. Ajayi! Big night gets bigger. Goodbye. 4th rushing touchdown for the junior. 62-yard score.
And here's a trait that's hard to coach. Just split zone. Watch the patience right there in the jump cut. And once he sees the daylight, breaks the tackle, he is taken to the house. And not too many people are going to catch him.
(41-12), a rout from the Broncos.
With 14:49 to go in the game, the Broncos now lead the Aggies 41-12.
That's the one thing about this Boise State offense. Their offense is built around him. Their ability to pound the ball physically in the run game. And then that's where everything else comes into play. Their play action pass, their motions, their shifts, their gadget plays. And so as much as you think about the gadgets, it really starts with them being a physical football team and their ability to run the football downhill at you.
So let's go back and take a look at our LLB Net Drive recap. I think you said it 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah. in the blink of an eye, and that's it. You saw the patience, you saw the hesitation, then you see the acceleration as well. 23 rushes for 193 yards and 4 touchdowns.
So just 7 shy of 200 on the night for Ajayi. Last week, as they blew out Wyoming on the road, only 16 carries for 110 yards and 2 scores. And this is why this offense has been so dynamic, so hard to stop, and one of the best in the country.
And there's something about this blue turf. And number 27, he averages 156 yards. He had 219 at CSU, against CSU. On his way to another 200-yard night tonight.
And when you got a running back that can do things like that, for Brian Harsin, it makes the game so much easier. For Grant Hedrick, it allows him to have a completion percentage north of 70%. Myers gets outside the pocket. And the pass to Tyler Weiss. Pulled in, just his second catch of the season for the freshman from River Heights, Utah, on a gain of 16.
This team awfully good at home, at night, on the turf.
Myers splits it out. Wyatt Houston to catch. Taken down by Vallejo. What's impressive about that number, as well as 4 losses since 2000, is how many different coaching regimes have gone through here as well over the course of that time, and the program has still remained at such a high, successful level. 2nd down and 7. Ball goes high. Butler leaps up to grab it.
And you'll see Myers kind of trying to pump fake that and hold it and then let it go. Accurate throw on the run.
First and 10, sharp motions into the slot. Myers under a 4-man rush, going deep downfield and over the head of Butler. Utah State right now is trying to score for the first time since there was 4:39 left on the clock in the 2nd quarter. A 46-yard field goal from Nick Diaz.
Well, and they had Ronald Butler down the field open on top of the secondary of Boise State. But again, it was late pressure affected the release of Kent Myers.
Five-man rush and nice extension to make the catch along the sideline. Devontae Robinson. It's been the short routes that have been best tonight.
Well, they have tremendous skill on the perimeter. Utah State does. Here's an example of it. Devontae Robinson laying out to make that grab.
Can they convert a 3rd down? No, sir. Ball is loose. Bo Martin was in pursuit and forced the fumble. And the Broncos take over. Another turnover. 3rd of the night. So Boise State has proved itself as the #1 defense tonight. Myers has thrown an interception. He coughs it up, and Bo Martin, the senior, recovers. 41-12, Boise State out in front against Utah State. 12:51 to go, 4th quarter. And Bo Martin forcing a fumble and getting the Broncos back on offense. Hedrick is tripped up there on 1st down. 3 turnovers tonight by Utah State. An interception and a couple of fumbles. This #1 rated Mountain West defense only allowing 18 points a game, 10th best in the country, has seen that average go out the window tonight. And Ajayi still working. 4 touchdowns tonight for Jay Ajayi.
And again, the thing that's so impressive about his style of running is yards after contact.
Oh my goodness.
What happens? Always falling forward. He kind of has a tendency to ricochet off tacklers. He bounces guys off. I mean, it's impressive.
And now he's gone over 200 yards, averaging almost a 1st down every time that he touches the ball. 3rd and 2. He takes the direct snap, fakes the handoff, and it's a first down as he goes inside the 35-yard line. So even with the big advantage, they don't give a conventional look on offense. The quarterback is going in motion as the running back takes the direct snap.
Oh, it's just how multiple they really are. But in the end, what really changed? It was inside zone to Ajayi, and that's the beauty of what they do offensively. They change the window dressing and the look of it, but they're running their same core concept plays.
They brought roll back, tied to the formation. Ajayi to the outside and knocked out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. He won't be stopped tonight. .228, a new career high in rushing yards for Ajayi. And now he takes a breather along what is the Utah State sideline. Crowd has dispersed a little bit here tonight at Albertson Stadium, but they're well aware of the prosperity that Ajayi has brought the team this season. 6 straight wins and looking for number 7. Temperature dipping under 35 degrees tonight, but a loyal crowd here in Boise. Tailgaters are out in full force.
Those guys don't think it's cold.
It's all part of a college education. And they run it to the right side with McNichols. They really like him. They call him the weapon, running back of the future for this team. We talked about earlier, Ajayi will likely consider his options as far as the NFL goes after this year, as they wait to get him back in on offense. But McNichols, more than 100 yards on the ground this year for a freshman wide receiver.
Yeah, and a guy they figure out a little bit like JoJo Natson, a guy they get the ball to in a variety of ways.
Flip goes to Williams Rhodes around the corner and angled out of bounds by Zach Vigil. And Ajayi still remains on the sidelines there. 4 touchdowns for him tonight as well. Is one shy of the single game school record. Ian Johnson did it in 2006. John Helmendaler did it back in 2004. Still plenty of time left in this one. Space on the edge. And a pirouette at the goal line. Back to McNichols again for 11 yards.
They're going to toss out of the bunch formation. First of all, going to shift to it with their tight ends to the bunch formation. Here you go. You're going to crack down. Receiver's going to pull, and 2 offensive linemen to get out in front of the running back.
Ajayi is the deep back. 5 touchdowns, and he's tied a Boise State school record.
Touchdown number 5.
Again, they're going to run power to the left side, kick out with the tight end or fullback, and this time instead of hitting downhill, Ajayi bounces it to the outside and gets into the end zone.
Last year, Ajayi ran for 4 touchdowns against Air Force and continues to cement his name in the school record books. Ian Johnson, John Helmendaler, and Jay Ajayi.
ESPN College Football Finale is brought to you by Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold and Cough and Jiffy Lube. Leave worry behind and stop by Jiffy Lube today for a signature service oil change.
It's more than 300,000 lights at the Idaho Botanical Garden. Who's paying that electric bill when it's coming around?
I don't know. It sure looks nice, though, doesn't it? Very festive. Christmassy, huh?
We're past Thanksgiving. Now you can start putting the decorations up. Any earlier, forget about it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I'm a hardliner. And that kick just out of bounds. So it draws the flag, and let's go down to Shelley.
Boise State coach Brian Harsin told us yesterday that the 3 keys to victory would be 1, winning the turnover battle, so check. 2, getting Jay Ajayi 30 carries. He's got 27, so almost check. And 3, that they can get 200 yards on the ground. Well, he's got 229 by himself already, so pretty much all 3 checks off the list.
And on that same note, the last time Utah State allowed a 200-yard rusher was DeMarco Murray in 2010 at Oklahoma.
Similar workloads in terms of conversations this year. How many carries can one running back sustain? The answer has been a lot. Passing on first down, Houston moves the chains, his 2nd catch of the year and 2nd catch of the game. Now under 10 minutes to go here at Boise. 15-yard pickup. Ajayi as well, the 7th player with 5 or more rushing touchdowns in a game this season. Myers, not a big guy, only 6 feet tall, overthrows Houston in the face of pressure.
Yeah, that was Blake Reno coming off the edge. Pressure unblocked right in his face.
And to think about what Myers is trying to do, beginning of the season, he was not in the plans as a quarterback. He was throwing to backs and tight ends, running scout team offense. Houston's got it again. They'll still need to pick up 2 more yards to get the first down. Eight-yard gain. Don't forget they went through Chucky Keaton. They went through Darrell Garrettson, Craig Harrison, all went down with injuries. You got to get a lot of credit to Matt Wells here, too, to take this team to 9 wins.
What they've been able to do in the face of the injuries they've had, especially at the skill positions, and impact players.
Utah State now 0 for 10 on 3rd downs. Kennedy Williams with his first catch. And you take a look at what they've lost, especially defensively, and they're still number 10 in the country.
Kyler Fackrell is probably the best player on their defense, too. A 6'5" outside linebacker. The NFL scouts are drooling over. Look at the quarterback position. And Kent Myers, he's led this team to 4 victories as a starter. Won the game he came into against Hawaii.
So they failed to convert. 0 for 2 tonight, and just 2 of 13 on 4th downs this year. Get your NFL Sunday started on ESPN. Going at 10 a.m. Sunday NFL Countdown presented by Snickers. Chris Berman and the gang give you all the latest news and updates around the league right up until kickoff. Also available live on Watch ESPN. Change at quarterback for Boise State. Ryan Finley is now into the game, and Devin Demas gets his first carry of the night. So Grant Hedrick, congratulations. You've earned yourself a cap and a headset and a 48-12 lead. Time to rest. Last time, David, he was on the sidelines was when he was benched in the 3rd quarter against Air Force, a loss. This one, easily a smile on his face.
Yeah, 4 interceptions in that game. The team had 7 turnovers total. Boy, how things have changed. And, you know, give a lot of credit to him. because, you know, he went back out, went to work, got better, improved the areas coach talked to him about. And that's why they found themselves right now in the driver's seat, ranked number 23 right now in the country, because the way he's continued to play, the way this team has grown in the first year under Brian Harsin.
I should correct myself. Finley did play late in the game last week against Wyoming. Ran a couple times for 15 yards in that blowout win, but Hedrick rarely has seen the sidelines this year under favorable conditions. Finley now in just his 5th game this year, run 25 passes on the season prior to tonight. That number 23 ranking for Boise State, the Broncos and the Thundering Herd of Marshall representing group of 5 teams. As that pass is overthrown. Crowd wants a flag, but they don't get it. But those group of 5 schools jumping back into the college football playoff rankings this past week after ECU was in week 1 and we didn't see anybody else. A lot of speculation about Marshall, but now really Boise, thanks to a Western Kentucky win in overtime.
Barn burner.
Yeah, has Western Kentucky to thank for their great standing. We'll get the second to last rankings coming out on Tuesday. Boise State you expect to stay in the top 25 and Marshall to drop out. Nice kick, and the Broncos let it roll.
That's the story of the night right there. The ball's bouncing their way.
Down to the 1-yard line. Beautiful punt of 54 yards from Sean Whale. .33 degrees, whatever it takes. The Bronco faithful now trying to rev up their defense, which has started tonight. Ball back on the 1 for the Aggies, and a whistle.
There is no play. False start. Number 76 of the offense. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Shelley Smith braving the elements down on the sidelines. David Diaz-Infante, Mike Cousins, along with our crew. Glad to have you here from Boise. Utah State, not much further in reverse they can go. Ends up being about a penalty of 8 inches. 7th flag against the Aggies tonight. And they managed to find their way out of the end zone. Rashad Hall, the junior from Lynchburg, Virginia, sneaks his way forward for 3. So this will be a disappointing way for Utah State to close out the regular season. But both teams entering the night had exactly what they wanted: a win and the opportunity to advance to the Mountain West Championship game. Reception for Hunter Sharp and a first down. So looking ahead to the next game, Boise State says, hey, it's great. We don't have to travel. Now Fresno State has to come in here and try and pick up an upset win.
And that would be an upset win because everyone knows what difficult environment this is to play in on the turf at night with these fans. It's as tough as it gets. And it's a challenge every Mountain West Conference team has tried to undertake, and it hasn't happened a lot.
This will be their 91st win since 2000 here at home. Down goes Hunt. And earlier this year, Fresno State came here. Boise State won 37-27.
See Rondell McNair then again make that tackle, shooting the gap, making a play, getting excited.
The loss is 6. Pressure in the end zone, and it's a safety. Tack on 2 more for the Broncos. Rondell McNair.
See McNair coming off the edge. Watch, he gets cup locked, gets up off the ground to make that play.
Elliott Hoyt, pressure through the middle as well. Quite a night all around for the Boise State defense. Limiting Utah State, pressuring a true freshman quarterback. I don't know how many games this year have had a pair of 2-point plays with a blocked extra point and now a safety to add on to that. Keep in mind, the Bronco defense is pitching a shutout here in the second half.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I tell you what, now to hit 50 points, that's the third time this season. 2 other times they've hit 60 points in this 6-game win streak. Now to 7 games against the top-ranked defense in the Mountain West Conference. A defense that can play with anybody in the country. That's how well this Boise State team is playing right now.
Utah State defense led the Mountain West in run defense, scoring defense, takeaways, and sacks coming into the game.
And tackles for a loss as well.
Back for the 20. And the offense now starts in plus field position. Story tonight has been Jay Ajayi, 5 touchdowns on the ground, tying a school record.
Well, I talked about his deceptive speed. The blocking he gets from those guys up front. Once he gets the edge, he can take it the other way. And what he does after contact, he's a contact runner. Has the ability to ricochet off tacklers, break tackles. Once he sees that daylight, he knows what to do with it, get it in the end zone.
So he ties Ian Johnson, who did it in 2006, John Helmendahler, who did it in 2004. The penalty there was a hold call against Boise State. So that sets them back from being across midfield to back at their own 42-yard line. Now Jack Fields takes it, just the 10th carry of the year for the junior from El Paso, Texas. If you're a running back not named Ajayi on the roster this year, good luck trying to get into the rotation.
Yeah, not a whole lot of carries being shared right there at that position.
Between Demas and Fields, the other 2 primary running backs, only a total to split of 33 carries coming into the game. And now they'll take their time here with Finley under center, winding the play clock under 10, back into the gun. Fields coughed it up and the ball is loose. And the defense comes alive. Daniel Gray back the other way with it. Utah State scores for the first time since the second quarter.
Ryan Harsin is saying he was down on the fumble. Take another look at that. Jake Fields gets a handoff. It's hard to see exactly what happened. You'll see it. There's Nick Vigil coming in. That angle, it's hard to tell. You got to remember that the ruling on the field was a fumble. So we'll see what other angles we have.
This one might be more conclusive.
If the elbow is down, the body is down. Boy, that
ball
looks tough to see. You can see that one more time. The left elbow is down. He would be considered down, but it looks like perhaps the ball came out just prior to his left elbow making contact with the turf. Or his right elbow.
I think it was hovering above the field surface there.
Well, either way, I don't think there's enough video evidence there to overturn the call on the field. That ball is out. Nick Vigil punched it.
As it stands now, the 11th forced fumble of the year. And a 50-yard scoop and score for Daniel Gray, the sophomore out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
Easy play there for Gray, just coming off the corner.
Scoop and score.
Ball rolled right into his hands. Extra point try for Nick Diaz. And he's now been good on 36 straight extra points. Coming up, the ACC Big Ten Challenge continues on ESPN Wednesday, starting at 7:30. Aaron White, the senior, and Iowa, their first true road game of the year against number 5 North Carolina. ACC preseason player of the year Marcus Page, 9:30 Eastern. Two guys who might be their players of the year. Frank Kaminsky at Wisconsin. Overall, Jahlil Okafor, the freshman at Duke, could be the rookie of the year in college basketball. Kentucky, with their platoon system, a perfect 5-0. Wisconsin has looked very good, steady as always under Bo Ryan. Arizona, 3-0, and then Duke, North Carolina, and Louisville, the ACC Big Ten Challenge.
Have you ever seen a team that looks more unbeatable than Kentucky this year?
And the crazy debate has, well, I don't want to say debate, because just because some people say one side of things doesn't mean that it's a debate. Say they could beat the 76ers, get lost.
Yeah, that's a man's game up there.
That's like trying to say, you know, to bring it back to football, that Alabama could go in and beat the Jets. Just different levels.
Yeah.
Different levels. Some open lanes. And the ball out to the 31-yard line. The return from Brian Douglas. So now for Boise State, 3:41 to go. Up to 50 after a safety. And Utah State with a 50-yard fumble recovery for the touchdown. There's an injured player down along the near sideline. By the way, North Carolina 3-1. We should correct the record as they lost to Butler.
Austin Cheney, the injured Utah State player.
And so now 3:41 left in this ball game for Boise State as they come back out and try to run down the clock. Another win closer to being in the books here on the blue turf. You look ahead too, David, for the projections for where Boise State could go. If they go on to win the Mountain West Championship game against Fresno State, which will be held here at Albertson Stadium.
And they'll be heavily favored.
Yes, as they've already beaten Fresno State this year. They'll have won 7 games in a row. The early projections, according to our own Heather Dinich, would be the Fiesta Bowl, which of course they've got a great history in. You go back to the end of the 2006 season, so the game was in 2007, 2010 against TCU, and then Oklahoma in the first one in 2007.
And not only does Boise State win, the whole conference wins if they do that.
As there's a certain financial incentive too for a team to be one of the New Year's 6 bowl game participants.
And Boise State's a school in the Mountain West Conference that travels really well. Their fans go and support them.
The ticket allotment for that game is just over 12,000. So it's not as big as it has been years past, because what the potential profits are from those games are deducted if a school doesn't sell its full allotment. As we saw tonight, though, nearly a sellout crowd, and those games are done regionally to try and get the best type of home crowd. So Boise to Phoenix is pretty good.
And that makes so much sense. I'll be on that flight tomorrow.
As the other options would be either the Cotton Bowl in Dallas or the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. So Phoenix, certainly the better alternative. Don't forget Utah State, though. After this one, they'll be 9-4 to close out the regular season. There's a bevy of bowl possibilities as well for them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And they're a very good football team. And to think the coaching job that Matt Wells and his staff has done with the injuries they've sustained, not only throughout the whole team, but at one position, at the quarterback position. I mean, it's incredible the job they've done to be 9 wins.
So Boise State will host Fresno State. That picked up a win. Fresno State, too, just to, you look at the opposite side of this conference. Fresno State with the win today just became bowl eligible. And for Boise State, this is going to be win number 10. So December 6th here at home, and then December 7th, you can look ahead to the final rankings released by the College Football Playoff Committee as well. After we wrap up here from Boise, college football final presented by AT&T comes your way. We'll be set to say good night from Boise and good morning just about everywhere else.
Boy, I tell you what, when you look at that Mountain Division, is right now is the dominant division in the Mountain West Conference.
So number 1 defense versus number 1 offense didn't exactly pan out the way that everybody might have thought, as Boise State excelled on both sides of the football.
And what a job he's done in his first year as Boise State's head coach.
Brian Harsin, the architect of the offense for so many years, 2 Fiesta Bowl wins. Went away to Texas, head coach at Arkansas State, now back at his alma mater. And season number 1 continues on successfully.
Grew up here, went to high school here, was a quarterback here, now he's back here as head coach.
So Boise wins it 50-19. College football final presented by AT&T is next. Let's go to the studio.